What's good, y'all? I already know where y'all at. It's your boy Star Jones, and it's a new episode of Star Views. It's about to start right now. So please, I hope you got your hookah ready, and I hope you got your cups full of whatever ready, because I got a lot to talk about, alright? Know what's going on. Star Jones, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Please and thanks, you heard? What's good, folks? It's your man Star Jones. I'm back with another episode of Star Views. As I mentioned before, it's going to be a busy weekend. This is actually the second Star Views episode I'm dropping and recording for this weekend. The first film being Escape Room. Definitely go check out that video right now. Well, when you got a second, if you haven't already. But today we're going to be talking about Space Jam, the sequel from the film that came out 25 years ago. Yes, I said it, 2 decades plus ago. Starring Michael Jordan back when, and the whole Looney Tunes bunch. The modern day sequel again stars LeBron James, Don Cheadle, and it definitely has appearances from a bunch of WNBA and NBA stars in the film. Yeah, it's been 25 years since the original film. It was definitely a classic. I enjoyed it as a kid. To this day, I think, I'm going to say it aged well, but it served its purpose. I definitely have great fond memories of that film. So I did have some type of excitement for this one. Not so much, I'm going to be honest, because as I mentioned before in videos, as far as timelines concerned and are concerned in movie universes, I like them to be kind of relatively quick. I don't like huge gaps, and 25 years is a huge gap. I guess Warner Brothers decided it was time to take another superstar, bona fide star, and I guess take advantage of this Space Jam affection, I guess. So when we get back, we're going to actually talk about what transpired in the film, and I'm going to try to limit spoilers because I've been hitting you guys with heavy spoilers these past couple videos, and I don't like ruining things for people, but so I'm gonna try to ease up, apply some pressure to the brakes, and take my foot off the gas a little bit. So once we get back, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about it. All right? See you in a second. Day drinking. Drink responsibly. But anyway, Space Jam: New Legacy. So in the opening act of the film, was introduced to a young LeBron, and I guess this is a bit of foreshadowing for later on in the film. A friend of his gives him a Game Boy, and he proceeds to go on a basketball court with his teammates, and he misses the game-winning shot. That's not a spoiler. It's kind of just, it's the opening scene, so I'm not really ruining anything for you. They didn't make it dramatic. So he misses his shot to give his team the win. And the coach, portrayed by Wood Harris, approaches young LeBron, and he begins to lecture him on being dedicated and not having distractions. His friend in the beginning of the opening act, gave him a Game Boy, which he was kind of fixated on, and he really wanted to play the Game Boy versus playing basketball. So I guess this is indicative to what's going to transpire later on in the film. So after the game, Coach Wood Harris, like I said, begins to lecture LeBron. He kind of tell him, yo, you got to focus up. If this is something that you want to do, you got to leave the distractions alone. This is kind of reminiscent to the first film, the original film that came out all those years ago, when we see Michael Jordan, young version, in the front of his house playing basketball, and the father in the movie pretty much telling him, focus up and you can achieve whatever it is that you want to do. So immediately after that, that's when opening credits roll, and we just see pretty much a whole highlight reel of LeBron James' career from the time he was in high school up until his most recent finals victory in the bubble. So then we're immediately introduced to his family in the film, and that's when we're introduced to 2 of his sons. The eldest, of course, being someone that's taking basketball very serious, and the youngest that's not so much. He's into basketball, but he has other interests. His name is Dominic James, aka Dom in the film. Dom has this apparent love for creating video games. He's kind of like a tech kid. So LeBron in this film kind of plays this hard-pressed basketball dad. Like, he wants his sons to be great like he is, and he kind of, you know, forces that onto his kids. And of course, the eldest son, as I mentioned, he's good at basketball. He takes it serious. That's what he wants to do. Whereas Dom, he's kind of just like, yeah, I'm good at basketball, but I'd rather do something else. And again, that being creating video games. So of course, this creates a wedge between LeBron and Dom, because LeBron again wants him to play ball, whereas he wants to go the video game route. So, like I said, he creates a wedge, and so now LeBron has to, not necessarily has to, but, well, he does. He has to kind of try to mend the fence, so to speak. Like, he has to try to find a medium between him and his son. They get in. Then we're introduced to Don Cheadle's character, who is, he calls himself algorithm. It's an algorithm. For my tech nerds out there, you guys know what that is. People in the who work IT, I know what algorithms are. I'm not really familiar with the term. Well, I know what the term is, but I don't know what the term is, if you get what I'm saying. So, we're introduced to this guy, or this computer program, who's portrayed by Don Cheadle again. And he has this master plan of putting out this program for the future for Warner Brothers Studios. So LeBron has a meeting with, I guess, executives from Warner Brothers, and Algorithm's presentation is presented, and LeBron doesn't like it. Dom, on the other hand, likes it, thinks it's a good idea. So Algorithm decides he wants to manipulate the son into getting LeBron on board with the program, and that's when the movie takes off. That's when LeBron gets into an argument with his son, because again, LeBron presents the whole basketball thing taking precedence over Dom's interest in, you know, the tech life. So they have a little quarrel. Dom runs off, LeBron chases him, Algorithm runs down in their computer software facility and somehow warps them into what they called it, the something verse. We just gonna call it the serververse. There we go. I got it. Serververse. So he brings them into the serververse, and now they're digitized. So now they're in where the Looney Tunes exist and everything under the Warner Brothers umbrella. So at that point, Algorithm manipulates Dom to play for his version of the Goon Squad, Monstars, and LeBron is forced to link up with Bugs Bunny and the rest of the Looney Tunes squad, and ultimately they have the showdown for freedom. Algorithm gives them an ultimatum. It's either y'all win this game and y'all free, or y'all lose and y'all are stuck in here forever. So that's that. That's the movie. And I'll come back and I'll actually tell you guys whether or not you see it, how I rate it, pros and cons, all that good stuff. So I'll be back in a second. So this is my, y'all already know about this at this point. This is my favorite part of the show, where I actually break down what I like about the film, what I dislike about the film, and ultimately how I'm gonna rate it, whether or not you guys should see it. So, pros of this film. I really enjoyed the nostalgic element to the film. I am a millennial. I was born in 1989, and I personally grew up watching Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, you know, Porky Pig, Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, you know what I'm saying, Tweety and Sylvester. Like that was ill for me. Like, you know what I mean? I personally don't watch cartoons like that anymore outside of anime, and I do watch the DC Universe's cartoons, like the Batmans and stuff like that. Hence Bruce Wayne in the back chilling, like that stuff. But as far as like Looney Tunes and all those other cartoons we watch as children, I don't really watch at all. I won't even say really. I don't watch them at all. So for me, watching this was kind of nostalgic. It was cool to see that, and it immediately brought me back to the first film and how much I enjoyed it. So seeing Bugs Bunny, Lola, and all of them back together, it was cool. It brought back fond memories of my childhood when I watched the first film. So that was a pro for me. I'm not even gonna lie. Another pro for me was, I didn't realize so many movies and franchises was actually under Warner Brothers Studios. The Matrix, I didn't know that. Newfound information. Game of Thrones, didn't know that. Newfound information. Harry Potter. I'm not a fan, but didn't know that either. So the fact, because in the movie, when LeBron starts putting the team together, the Looney Tunes are spread out across the Warner Brother universe. They all spread out. They're all in different universes under the Warner Brothers umbrella. So Bugs and Braun had to, run around the universe and grab the team back together. So with that said, they had to explore different universes. So they went to the DC universe. So we saw Batman, Superman. We saw Wonder Woman. We saw The Matrix. Granny was in The Matrix. So it was cool, how they showed all those other universes. I think that was very cool. I think I really enjoyed that, seeing the Looney Tunes exist in these other Warner Brother universes. It was funny, and at the same, it was fun to see. So I definitely enjoyed that. The cameos that we seen, from the nostalgic Batman live action to the Mask sitting on the sideline to King Kong, Iron Giant, Scooby-Doo, like all that was fun. Like that was cool to see. That's another pro. I really liked what they did with the cameos. From like I said, everything under the Warner Brothers umbrella on the sideline while they spectated the game. That was fun to see. They had the Night King from Game of Thrones on the sideline. Like that was funny. They had the witch from Wizard of Oz. Like that was fun. That was fun to see. It was definitely. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So those are definitely all pros. But that's probably where the pros end. Now as far as cons are concerned, LeBron's acting is terrible. I feel like, again, LeBron's an elite basketball player. I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's arguably the best player in the world ever to exist. I'm not taking that away from him. But as far as acting, I feel like he could have did a better job playing himself. I feel like you're LeBron James. You're playing yourself. It's not like you're playing someone else. You're playing yourself. And I feel like he could have did a much better job playing himself. I'm putting emphasis on himself because he played himself. And it's just like, I wasn't convinced you were yourself. Yeah, I don't know if Warner Brothers told him, yo, we want you to be like this. I don't know. But we've seen LeBron James coach his son in real life. And I feel like when we see him coach his son in real life, it just doesn't seem forced. Everything in this movie seemed forced. And again, because maybe this is like his first major acting gig or being casted in a major film, I don't know, but I just didn't feel it. Anytime it was live action Braun, I was just like cringing because it was just too much. It was cool when he was a cartoon, but when it was live action Braun, it was a little too much for me. The story itself, it wasn't interesting. Like the whole algorithm thing. And again, I get it. It's 2021. You necessarily can't do or follow the same, I guess, plot that the original film did, because again, that was in the 90s. So they had to put a little technology spin on it, make it very modernized, but the story wasn't really good for me. The whole for me, it's like, yo, Warner Brothers is this multi-billion million dollar company, and what's up with your firewall? I feel like Algae Rhythm was a virus, and I feel y'all IT guy should have nipped that in the butt. That shouldn't even have got as far as it did. Maybe I'm being too literal because, I don't know. Maybe you gotta realize it's a kid's movie and it just is what it is. But again, I just didn't like the story too much. This is a pro and a con. I kind of like what they did with the players. Like in the first film, what the aliens did was the aliens kind of took the players' skills as well as their likeness. Whereas this one, it was kind of a player kind of thing. Like in video games, I know when I played Madden and I played 2K all these years, I would create a player. So they kind of created the players, and he took the likeness from player motion capture on Dom's phone. So they took Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, etc., and they just combined them with these animals in the game. So it was cool, but at the same time it wasn't. But again, I do consider the fact that it's 2021 and they had to make some type of modernized story, I guess. But overall, I didn't really like the story. Um, Another pro, I did like seeing the little aliens from the first one. That was cool. That was funny. Um, but yeah, overall, it just for me, it was just it wasn't nothing too crazy. But with all that said, I will say that it was better than I expected. I did see a lot of reviews beforehand, and it was a lot of bad reviews, a lot of bad critiques, a lot of bad grades. But I will say, again, this was better than I expected. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It was kind of funny because again, the Looney Tunes thing was big. I think if the Looney Tunes was good. I think had it not been for the Looney Tunes, it probably would have scored lower than what I'm about to rate it. So with that said, I'm gonna give it a six stars. 6 stars. Again, I think it was very okay. I don't think that it was amazing. I don't think it was great, but I also don't think that it was terrible. LeBron's acting really impacted the grade. Maybe would have got a 6.5 or 7 if it wasn't for LeBron's performance, and then if it just had a better story. But the Looney Tunes really saved the flick for me, and just the whole nostalgic element, as well as showing everything under the Warner Brothers umbrella when they explored the different universes. That was the nerd in me really enjoyed that. So I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't think that you should go to the theaters and pay for it. Fortunately, it's on HBO Max, so watch it on HBO Max. I do not suggest you go to the theaters and pay $40 on a date for it. Call it $100 once you get snacks and all that other stuff. Pay for parking. Nah, don't even do it. Just watch it in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Save yourself some bread. Because if I went to the movie theaters and seen this, then I would have been upset. But because I watched it in the crib on HBO Max, it wasn't that bad. So I definitely think HBO Max is valid. You know what I'm saying? And I think the 6 is a solid grade. It's not a passing grade, but again, it's way better than I anticipated. I thought I was really going to give this movie a 4, especially based on the reviews that I read. But again, that's why you got to see things for yourself. So that's my time. Before I get out of here, restore the Snyderverse. Warner Brothers, restore the Snyderverse. Come on. It's about time. Let's just do it. Since we're talking about Warner Brothers and the whole umbrella, restore the Snyderverse. I'm going to just say that before I get out of here. Now, I'm going to get out of here. Next week, y'all will see me again. G.I. Joe's, Origins, Snake Eyes. We'll be talking about that. We're going to see what that's hitting for. And that's my time. Star Jones, Star Views. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good weekend. Oh, y'all still here? Appreciate y'all for sticking around, man. But I don't got no more hookah. But what I do have is more content on my YouTube channel. So please, if you haven't done so already, hit that red button and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified as soon as I post anything. Alright? And if you haven't already followed me on social media, here's my information. Make sure y'all follow up. Appreciate it. Y'all still here, man. That's valid. Have a good one.